this is Kat with Beadaholique, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can take a Nunn design Itsy bottle and wrap it in a little strip of peyote so that you create a little secret capsule. So these are actually really fun little bottles. They have two little loops on the side and they're glass bottles, and this is the antiqued gold version, and it has a little cork on the top that you can remove and place a little note or a little something special in there. I have over here an example using the silver, and into the center there I've added the crystal splash, and what that looks like is this up here. It's these beautiful sort of crystal chatons, and they are just so fun. You can actually use this as table decoration. It's very popular at weddings, but we wanted to kind of just fill up that glass so it almost looks, it gives that illusion of cracked glass on the inside there, so it's kind of fun. So there's a lot you can do with these little bottles, but for our video here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little strip of peyote and sort of mask over it so that you can create a cool little shape that will be a little hidden message on the inside. So to do that today, I'm using the Miyuki Delicas, and these are 15-0, so they're really nice and teensy tiny. You can see just how tiny they are here. I'm using some 4-pound FireLine, and I have a size 12 beading needle on that. And then I'll show you in just a little bit, we're going to actually attach a necklace, but let's go ahead and wrap this guy up. So we're just going to sort of place him in there. And you can see that I've done even count peyote here so that my teeth of my bead weaving line up. So I still have my tail here, and this is where my needle's coming from. So in case you're curious, this is 16 columns wide here, and then going from this side to this side, it is 24 beads in length. So just as you're kind of working your way, so I counted the outer edge beads there. You can see that this one in my starting point is my up bead there, and I finished here and it kind of has that little jut down there. So it's 16 by 24 on the long side there. So you can create all kinds of fun patterns. You can do a solid color. I was able to get mine to line up pretty nicely here with a nice little striped pattern. So you can see that it's just going to kind of fit together there. So all we're going to do is we're going to take our needle, and it's coming out of the bottom there. So we're just going to turn it around and go up through the next bead there on this side and kind of pull that through, and you see it come together. And then we're going to go on the other side. So we're just going to kind of zigzag our way up, and this is called zipping up peyote. So we've done this before in a couple other different videos here. I'm just going to keep my tail out of the way. There we go. So you just go back and forth all the way up towards the top, and you're just going to zip it up, and it's going to bring both of those sides together for you. So I'm going to keep going, and then I'm going to show you really quickly how to tie off on the other side when you get all the way up to the top there. All right, so I'm going back up through my last little bead there, and you can see that I have a little tiny gap there between those last two beads, so where my ends are coming out. So what I want to do is I want to do one last little stitch that's going to take it up and over and around, and then I'm going to go back down through a couple of beads here. And all I need to do now, and you can see that that zipped up really nicely, you almost can't even see the seam. So I'm just going to go up through a couple beads and tie off my thread using the end thread bridges here. So, and this is really delicate because they are 15-0 seed beads, so they're very tiny. You could also use 11-0s for this. Just, of course, be aware that you'll probably have to adjust your pattern and length. It probably won't be 16 by 24, so just be aware of that. But you can use any kind of beads that you really want, and then just kind of, I'm going to sneak my needle in here and go under one of those little thread bridges there. There we go. Make a little loop and tie a little knot, and you're not even going to see it there. And then I'm just going to go down through a couple more beads here just into the beadwork before I go ahead and trim that off. There we go. And I'm just going to go down through one more. And these are super teensy tiny beads, and this is just a great little technique. Okay, so now I'm going to remove my needle, take my little snips here, and I'm going to come in and just snip that off. There we go. So now I'm just going to tie up the other end, and then I will be right back to show you how to make it into a necklace. All right, so you can see that I have finished my bead weaving here, and we have it kind of turns around there, and it's a really nice little sleek look. So what we're going to do is we're just going to very simply add a Nunn design chain to it. So I have 2 feet of chain here, so I'm going to make a nice long necklace. So all I need to do here is find that center link of my chain. There we go. Just make sure my ends are even. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my flush cutters and come in here and just separate that center link, just like so, and just cut it off. So now I have 2 links of chain. So what I want to do first is I'm going to take a pair of my bent nose pliers, and today I'm using jump rings. I am using 5mm 20 gauge jump rings. So just kind of giving it a nice little gentle twist, opening it up and slipping it onto the chain. And I'm going to slip it onto one of the loops of my necklace. And just go ahead and close that guy up. And we're just going to repeat on the other side here. I love using these bent nose chain nose pliers because they are just really nice and comfortable in the hand. And these ones today I'm using, they are by the brand Tronex. All right, so very simply there. And then of course all we have to do is just go to the other ends of our chain. And we're going to put 1 jump ring on one side. Again, just attaching it to that last little link there. Close that up. And then to this side, we're going to open another jump ring, attach it onto our chain. But before we close it, we're going to add on a little lobster clasp. And now we're going to close that jump ring. So now we are all set to close up our necklace. And it's a nice little chain here, just really nice, fun and easy. And you can just see how each one has its own little style there. You can do one where you have a little bit of bead weaving on the outside, it makes it a little thicker of a piece, or you can have something where you actually see what's inside. So this is great, it's wonderful for weddings, for keepsakes, for, you want to remember that special vacation at the beach, you can fill it with sand, and it's just a really fun little thing. So these are the Itsy bottles by Nunn Design. You can get all of the supplies you see here and even see more tutorial videos by heading over to Beadaholique.com. And hey, if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button below.